Alright, now we're going to be talking about game-like practice, because the modern approach to coaching is that kids should be playing games. We are moving away from the old style and old-fashioned style which used to be in England, where you had to do some sort of drills where you're gonna just run from cone to cone, and that is really not engaging. Before or earlier I was talking, especially in some other video, I was talking in the flow, on the flow, and of it how we want to engage the kids and how to make sure that the kids are engaged in the activities what we are doing. So we're going to try to put everything together and answer a few tricky questions and tricky points in here. So when we're talking about playing games on a practice, cool, awesome, but we want to do some training, some coaching. So how are we actually going to do that? So playing the actual game, it is really, the game is big, takes time, some players will not touch the ball. So what do we need to do? Maybe it is even too hard. So we need to come up with certain scenarios. How can we break down the game while still playing a game? I think that is one of the most important things for grassroots level coaches to achieve. To have the game, pick up something what you want to work on, and work on it during some other games. So it needs to have some sort of consistency as well, because anytime we want to do something, we are thinking about learning. How do we teach something to young players? How do we pass on some message? Of course, we don't want to unwrap everything at once. And one of the common mistakes what I see coaches doing is that all of a sudden kids are playing a game and they are organizing this kid over there, this kid in here, saying something about defense, saying something about attack there. So the perception of the players is quite chaotic. So there is no straight leading, there is no discovery phase for the players. They are being led by instructions. Again, it can lead to short-term success because the players will do what you need or what you want, basically, if they hear you and you shout loud enough. But in the long term, the players will not adopt the thinking. Like, they might adopt it, but the chances are not so big. So what I want to tell you and show you today is basically when we're starting to teach anything, I will try to break it down on a simple games. We always want to start without defenders. So if we take some sort of situation, basically I want to start like me against nothing. So let's say I want to learn how to shoot on a goal. Probably what I need is a ball and a goal. Yeah, so this is all I need for beginning. So I need to figure out how to do it, how to strike the ball, how to kick it, what sort of force, how my body needs to react, what I need to do, where I need to hit the ball, and so on and so on. Then I need to introduce some sort of challenges, some sort of problems, I would say. So basically we can do 1v1. There can be a defender between me and the goal. Or if we simplify it even more, there can be just me against the goalkeeper. But the principle is the same. So we're slowly increasing the challenge, the problem. We're putting some obstacles in a way. But again, we should not go the way that, in a young player especially, that I introduce a thing and then I just lay out problem after problem after problem. We want to go in a way that we slowly increase the ability and the knowledge and the confidence with the activity, so we can promote it to 2v1. Maybe it is working really well and the kids like it, perfect, I'll put that 3v1. Or you might be saying that it's really hard for the other kids. Cool, perfect, but I already introduced for this player some sort of problem where they need to solve. It is defending 3 players. In a game, it is not unrealistic. If you look at a game, quite often it happens that the situations will happen your team is in underload, so they have less players than the opposition, or sometimes you have more. So it is really natural and really preferred to include situations where the kids do not play only the same number against same number. So don't be afraid to put some sort of situation like this on your training for your defenders, for your attackers, when they will be really not in advantage. We're talking about this, of course, for players who already have some sort of skills. If we're talking about still the discovery phase, I would not go further than that, really. You can introduce it like 1 against 2, but the challenges should be slightly different than that. So, other thing how I want to transfer all of this is game-like practice. Why do we do it? Because kids like it. Because kids want to have fun. Previously we mentioned the flow, and again, why do we play? Yeah, it needs to be certain balance of things we already mentioned. It needs to be balance between your skills and between your effort in order for you to enjoy it and stay for it for long. But what are the aspects? Why do we play? We play football because of friends, because of fun, because of maybe competition even. Maybe you have some other things of it. You are with your friends. So this is why you want to do it. And we need to be sure that we keep those elements, those fun elements in the training. This is the only way how to keep the kids in and how to keep them involved. What is the role of the coach in all of this? Because basically when I mention this, it sounds like, oh yeah, I will just let the kids play and just let them discover it on their own. To this I would say awesome, but some players might not discover it early. It might take them a while. So as a role of a coach should be that you should be constantly guiding the learning process, and you should be pinpointing things which should increase their experience and their knowledge and their skills. If the players will be engaged, it will be much easier for you to increase their skills. So tip for coaches will be as well, pick what you want to work on. Don't try to work on everything at once. Are we working on attacking phase right now? Are we working on finishing on a target? Are we working on defending? So pick what you will be working on, pick your focus, and try to implement that focus into your coaching, into the games. Yeah? Basically the whole idea what you want to achieve is to let them learn without them knowing that they're learning. How can you do it? You can manipulate the rules of the game. That's the easiest thing what to do. Manipulating the rules. It can be this, or it can be conditions where they play. Yeah, so always when we do the game-like practice, we want to have a game-like structure, and we want to increase and manipulate the obstacles, the problems what we have. Sometimes you want to make it harder, sometimes you want to make it easier. That's normal. If you want to boost up the confidence, if you have important match before you on the weekend, maybe for you it's a priority to have your players in a good mood. So feel free to use those tips and implement them in your session.